Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. My name is Justin. Tonight I gotta do some trucking. This is in the evening. Sun's starting to set. I gotta pick between a Peterbilt and a Kenworth over here. Gotta run most of the night, so you can see that Peterbilt's a distance. I'm going with the Kenworth. So, trucking beans. That means it's drop and hook. I do not need this trailer. Yeah, nice leather gloves. Casey, thanks buddy. Dropping this trailer, and we basically have 9 trailers in a loop. So I'm just gonna be dropping and hooking with those. So I gotta get this trailer unhooked and hit the road. What I'm gonna be doing tonight is I'm taking the truck to my house, and then then like 10 o'clock, I think my first load is in the night. Got to be out to the field about an hour and a half away by 10 o'clock tonight. So we're running the night shift. So the way we have all our hydraulic lines, so you can see there's a pressure side and a return line. The truck has a hose, the trailer has a hose. So we have the spin couplings on the trailer and the truck, one on each. So whenever we unhook a trailer, there's one hose on the trailer and one hose on the truck. What I'm gonna do is this is just a regular Pioneer coupler. I'm gonna pop that off and put it over here onto the trailer because that's the trailer hose. And then this one I'm gonna pop off and I'm gonna put it to where that was. So I'm just gonna make a loop, and that's how we have pretty much all of our trailers are set up that way. So it keeps it simple. Here goes. All right, now you can see the loop on the trailer, and you can see the loop on the tractor. You gotta throw a strap over that. Unlike some of the guys in our fleet, they don't unhook and then they rip the hoses out. I try to get the hoses unhooked so we don't have the problem of ripping hoses out. Sorry about that, guys. Got to put some fuel in before we leave. All right, here's your fuel system. Simply identify driver. I can't show you my code. All right, truck number is 119. Mileage is 154,3024. Invalid odometer. You gotta be kidding me. Hate when this happens. Something ain't right here. It's pumping. Something wasn't quite right. So I had to override it. And I wonder if we don't have our parameters set too close, because if we put in too far of miles or too big of a gap in the miles, which this guy was out all week and coming back in, it could be that that parameter was set too big. That means there's fuel disappearing somewhere. So there's parameters. So you can't be out all week and come back in and fill up. You're supposed to. Our parameters are just set a little bit too tight. I know it probably doesn't make sense to you, but what it does is all of a sudden you'll see that this truck's, if he's filling up too much, you'll see that this truck is all of a sudden getting like 2 miles to the gallon. You're like, whoa, wait a second, what's going on? It's kind of a safety thing. That way, nothing crazy happens. So the parameter, again, the parameter's probably just set a little too tight. But we're pumping and we're empty, so we're gonna need a lot of fuel. This is where I'd like to take that truck. Unfortunately, I can't. And I'm gonna be out for the night, so it doesn't have a bed in it. So that's not gonna work. Sometimes, well, usually I wouldn't have to fill up, but sometimes these guys on the road, they buy fuel out on the road, or they'll come back in, and they'll come in after being out all week. So they wanna get home, and I don't blame them. And this guy doesn't know that I'm running this truck, at least not yet. So otherwise, I know he would have filled it up for me and on and on. So it's just one of those days. Bean plant's running good. There's lots of beans to pick. So I gotta go haul some beans, gotta fill in. We're winding down, there's only a few weeks left of bean season, and it's over. So apples are starting and they're running strong. So that's gonna go pretty hard till probably end of November into December. So fuel in both tanks, and they were both about empty. This is the big tank. That one's gonna take a little bit. This other tank, ooh, you hear that? That was the big tank here. That noise as fuel's coming out of it. This tank is the small tank. It's got the split in it for the hydraulic tank. Actually, you know what? I'm just looking at this. I don't think it does, because usually there's a seam in here. Can't see that, but I think, I'm just looking, right here's the hydraulic tank. So I'm over half done. So the hydraulic tank is for the wet line. That's for running the walking floors. Tonight, I'm not gonna need that. Simply drop and hook. Done. Welcome back. Just getting ready to head out. It is about 7:30. This is where it gets fun. Got my coffee, got my water, some snacks. And as far as paperwork, there's really not a lot of paperwork to do. Simply because the bill ladings are given when we get loaded. It's local, so I don't need e-log or any log sheets. It's basically a mileage sheet, and that's it, and I'm good to go. Do my pre-trip and on the road. This is where it's really nice to have your own truck. Unfortunately, 144 is not going to be done, or it's not done, so I'm taking this one. This is truck number 119, 550 cat, 13 speed, actually I should say 475 Acer, that was made to a single turbo, but it does pull pretty good, so it's probably more like a 550 cat. This truck has got a double bunk, so I plan on putting the top bunk down and sleeping on the top bunk rather than sleep in someone else's bed. Next year it'll be a different story, because I can sleep in, hopefully, my truck. It'll have a little coffin bunk. And some nights you get sleep, some nights you don't get any sleep. So that's where it's not, you know, you don't need a big bunk, but just in case you want to be able to sleep, trust me, when you're running at night and you had a long day, every hour is precious. And if you get a chance to sleep, you want to take it. I love these Kenworth interiors. Full gauge package. We're gonna go trucking. Obviously, guys, I'm not at the shop. Like I said, I parked at my house. Beautiful evening. That's the lake out there. I am ready to drop the trailer. I went out to the field, picked up my first load. I was supposed to grab 3 loads tonight, so I'm actually gonna be only grabbing 2. I got this load and 1 more tomorrow morning, which will be in the daylight, so I can get a little more footage out in the field of that. I gotta drop this trailer and back out on the road. it's fairly fluffy. I just gotta hit the brakes and it'll drop right down. And you can see all the pickers out in the field. The guys are actually loading another picker cart, or another dump cart that loads into a truck, but my load is full. Beautiful morning. Yeah, it was a fun night trucking. Truck is parked down there. See a bunch of the other trucks back. So tell you what, that bean harvest, it is it's pretty crazy. So the video, you know, some of the loading and stuff that you saw in this video, I can also post a link for the video that I did last year. I can post that up above. But the video I did last year kind of went through the whole process, and it's really hard to shoot video at food processing centers, so that's why it's very limited. I can't show you dropping and hooking my trailers and stuff like that. So the other video got approved, and that one's good. I'll post a link for that one. Here's the rest of the trucks, guys. A bunch of them are gone, a bunch of them are in the shop, a bunch of them are parked over to the other side. It's kind of crazy because it seems like sometimes the trucks are running so good, everything is just clicking right along, and then all of a sudden there's like 3 or 4 trucks that go down. So out of nowhere, all of a sudden, boom, we got issues with a couple different trucks. It's all part of it though. That's part of trucking. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.